quite far in the back line. It's going to be really interesting, these team fights, because BTR, for me, take the team fights 60-40, personally.
Yeah, I think it's a better initiation coming out from the side of BTR, right? Liempo can jump in, you can have Byron jump in as well, and the ever stock standard Allgrim path of passing entry. I think it creates a very good situation for BTR to benefit off of. On the other hand, if you take a look at what they have on the side of Nongshim, it's kind of like, hey, I'm gonna come and find you. Here's the announcement that set sail is coming, right? You kind of see where they're coming from right off the bat.
Oh yeah, I mean you hear it before you see it, right?
Yeah.
So it's definitely not a sneaky ability in certain terms, but I'm really looking forward to this pair up of Liempo and Ogren. It's something I've been waiting for since day one, because I know it's such a frightful combo, especially Tremor Smash and then obviously Death Precipice. If you can land that huge AoE from Liempo and then set it up with the Death Precipice AoE from the Ogren, it could be massive.
Yeah, it definitely could. And Illusion definitely going to start off with a good, nice Kachosen there right in the face of Zanky as well.
Hey, why not? Why not start the fight? Why not start the fight off in game 3 with a bit of disrespect, right? Do a bit of damage into the mid lane, just get some priority, throw a bit of disrespect there. But like I said in the post analytics, I think game 3 is just about Nongshim proving that they need to take the fights when they see clear success, right? They can't just be like dithering in delay.
Yeah, you know, there's a lot of pressure on the Clash laners as well. Kyung-Nai needs to be able to hold his own against Tufts, because if he lags in farm, yes, he does have the set sail fast rotation as well, but if Tufts has a better wave clear, it's tough for him to get that set sail at the correct timing as well.
It's tough for tough, right? But we know that Keon can actually perform on the Sunset, so I feel like he can go neck for neck against Tufts in this 1v1, but most times, historically, with Byron going 1-for-1 with most of the Clash laners, it's generally Byron coming out on top. I mean, he has the same kind of kit as Sunset. Obviously, he doesn't have the boat, but he does have the knockups and he has the dashes.
Yeah, I agree. I like this, and you know what? This small behavior that Neo is displaying that I really like, and that is the assistance to go into the jungle and help ZanQ. They want to make sure that ZanQ gets as much farm and EXP as early as possible.
I mean, we saw this with some of the earlier games, especially game 1 when he played Prince of Lanling and Neo was actually Lady Chen, and he was very much focused on and being stuck to him like glue as if he was playing Ming in the mid lane. But it works well. It gives him free time. It makes sure that his rotations are a lot faster.
Yeah, this 1v1, seemingly 1v1 between Zan and Siri seems a bit interesting, right? Siri has managed to land a couple of snipes so far. Zan, of course, able to use the Maple Dance to kind of negate some of the damage. But more importantly, there's a lot more pressure put down on the Clash lane, and this might be the difference maker right here.
Yeah, I mean, they've got to give pressure onto one of these lanes, because I think that's one of the weaknesses of BTR. They're not necessarily the first team to take the first turret. So I feel like if they make that change of pace, we could be seeing a much more frightful BTR in this game 3.
Yep, so many things could go wrong for you to end here. In the farm lane, if Siri or Zan die first, that's the end of the lane for them.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you've got the first blood if it actually goes on into the farm lane, and that's a bit of a Brucey bonus in terms of the gold. But it is going to be Illusion here, trying to help out Keon, trying to get more pressure into the Clash lane, trying to just recall.
Yeah, but that's a good situation, right? Means the early rotation is going to take effect, set sail is going to be available, and with this positioning by Haku, it's perfect.
Yeah, position of Haku here is he's waiting. He's just trying to get intel for his teams, making sure those lanes are pushed, or at least at equal fronts here. But going into the 3-minute mark, we're almost getting to those neutral objectives. I feel like it's going to be at this point, if any, where we're going to start to see the scales tip in the favors of these lanes.
Yeah, both teams are really fishing for an opening, right? And they're not letting up. Right now, Siri being threatened as well. And they're trying to make a difference in the Clash lane with the rotations by Illusion. But nothing is going for both of these ends. So it might be that first neutral objective that makes the difference.
And we've seen as well, in this series alone, BTR love to try and get those first neutral objectives in their belt, right? I'm pretty sure they got first turret in game 1, game 2 as well. And I don't see it being any different in game 3, because if you look at the roster here and the draft going on, Ali's going to benefit greatly from it, and Ganamo as well. So the burst damage is only going to be more intense, but Nongshim know that.
Yeah, stage is going to be set here. The Tyrant is down to less than half its health. Who's going to get this? Bridal Outburst could be landed. Haku actually gets it. And this could be the marker to break that barrier. And Nongshim do strike first blood. It is going to be kills after kills. Kyung9 settles the second kill of the game for the side of Nongshim. A big advantage for the JPKR region.
Yeah, huge focus there from the side of Nongshim. Illusion actually really doing well to take Byron off the side of the backline there. So using the Mai Shiranui as a denial of access onto the Shoyu, was a fantastic play here. As you can see, Shoyu's up to the side of the Azure Golem. We saw that Tufts was trying to go for it, but Illusion was like, denied. You don't know the password, you're not getting onto my carry.
Yeah, and you know, Illusion also pushed Zen away, and that was a huge marker because there was no damage offered on the side of BTR. That was one of the main reasons why they won that fight so hard. Yeah,
Illusion playing this Mighty Shiranui very, very well. I'd probably say better than Neil played it in Game 2, but it's all down to how comfortable you are with this hero, right?
Yep. Zankyu now, he's trying to recover some farm. I don't think he's going to be able to steal this Azure Golem away. So, attempt toward it, and advantage still in the hands of Nongshim.
Yeah, thwarted, and you can kind of see here that he needs to make up that XP lead as well, because Haku is level 9, whilst we see that Zankyu is actually level 8, so struggling to maintain the XP levels here, and potential dive between these three, not quite committing just yet, because they sense that Illusion was missing from lane.
Yeah, very scary, right? Right now, he's like level 7 only, but his burst potential is pretty high as well.
Yeah, I mean, if he can get his hands onto Ganemo, that's it. All he has to save himself is guard his grave, and hey, here we go.
Yep, it is going to be tough. He's in a spicy situation, but the backup is here as well. Can they get the kill before Zankyu makes it? And they will. And so Tufts takes the fall. And it looks like Nongshim, they're going to establish a more dominant lead right now.
More dominantly by taking the T1 and keeping the pressure on the Zankyu, so he can't even push and deny those minion waves from taking the T1 up into the clash lane. So Nongshim already getting the first neutral objective as well as the first turret on the board, but Zankyu is here to soak up that damage, trying to take his own Azure Golem from himself, but it is going to be Nongshim's Haku that gets that Azure Golem, so Orgren is missing out on that lovely CDR.
Okay, so this is an exact repeat of game number 2. Does Nongshim hold on? Because it's 6.5 minutes in, they have a 3,000 goal lead. They're looking for more, and this Crimson Golem definitely not going to be in the hands of BTR.
Oh, they need to look for more, because I mean, Nongshim's helping themselves to BTR's jungle right now, so they need to start to try and find the resources on the Gorge, because they're not just going to get presented to them, they're not just going to be applied on a silver plate, but it looks like Nongshim's here for the full world buffet.
Yep, and the positioning, Neo is nowhere to be found. They're going to go on the backlines as well. Zankyu uses his ultimate, but they have escape mechanisms left and right. And Nongshim, they push them back, and Haku joins the fray. He's right in the middle of 4. He does not care. At this point, the Scepter of Fate doing so much work. He's tanking so much. And Nongshim, I think if there is a fight on the backlines, no, they would just scurry their way out. Scot-free. Nongshim looking for that pressure. And I think right now, BTR is struggling to keep up.
They are struggling. I mean, if we recall just a few moments ago, Zankyu was level 9, Haku was level 11. And we saw from the sustain of the Hino pick, right? Like, that's showing even the same standards of the sustainability of the Orgren, and it's been played beautifully here by Nongshim for now. But yeah, like you said, BTR just need to try and find some resources for themselves, because it is going to be Nongshim that is putting off all the heads of the Hydra right now.
They can't, right? At this point, it's about 1,000 gold ahead for Haku, and he already has the Eye of the Phoenix, so his lifesteal and sustenance is insane.
Yeah, okay, that health regen.
Yeah, they're going to make a defense on the top, and it looks like Nongshim have learned the lesson from the previous game. They will not press too hard.
They shouldn't. I mean, they shouldn't press too hard, but they shouldn't give enough room to breathe. But I feel like with the lack of resources, the only person that's getting any kind of resources, which they got to make sure they check, is Zayn on the Ali. Ali's just been left down there into the bot lane, able to clear up a full minion wave, get it to the T1 as well, so, and take the Crimson Golem. So they're doing bits. They're trying to do the same thing as they did with Lady Sun in Game 2. It's just try and funnel the resources where they can into this place.
Yeah, but she doesn't have enough damage just yet, right? Just just the Shadow Reaper as well as Doomsday, I don't think it's going to be enough damage in comparison. Eternity Blade in the hands of Siri already. So they claim a tower on the backlines though. They do have the knock-up Unbridled Outburst as they look for more. Faye gonna try and set the scene. Radiant's gonna be committed as well. But it's gonna be the first kill onto Neil. That's a lot of damage out of the picture as BTR, they struggle to keep up. Okay, maybe ZanQ will change the game. Siri gets taken out. So that's a huge amount of damage taken away from both sides. But it looks like Nongshim, they have the advantage. The lifesteal coming in from Haku. Eye of the Phoenix doing so much work in the middle of 3. They cannot kill him. And it is BTR suffering at the hands of Nongshim. As Nongshim, they are pushing all 3 lanes at the same time.
That was like the golden carrot being dangled in the face of BTR. Was this absolutely sustainable tank that is Haku on this high note, right? It just enabled Kyong just to push the farm lane all the way to the high ground turret as well, gaining him some more resources. And if we look at the overall resources, they're ahead by about 4k gold, which going into the 10-minute mark is not where you want to be if you're BTR.
Yeah, but it's difficult, right? Because Neil, I mean, he's not going to have the ability to one-shot Haku. And that's a big problem because until you can force Haku to use his Fate Rewind, he's not going to care. And Zen is nowhere near having the itemization to be able to take Haku one-on-one.
Oh yeah, unfortunately for the Zen, right? He's not be able to take any of these 1v1, even if they had Zen there. But a little bit of engage here into the backlines, AQ.
Yeah, he's gonna give it a try, but Haku, you can see how strong he is. Set Seal gonna be just landing onto Psycho, not too big of a damage dealer on this side. Right now, it's just the neutral objectives that are gonna be up for contest. And it looks like Nongshim, they want to settle this Tyrant first.
Yeah, but I mean, BTR is definitely trying to match that pace right there. Still saying, hey, look, even though you've got our lanes push, and we can kind of see that Kyung is trying to push the Clash lane as well, we're still going to try and stop those neutral objective takedowns. But we're kind of seeing Nongshim falling at the same kind of hurdle once more. They're constantly stuck around this mid lane T1. They struggle to get it.
I think they need to, right? Because end of the day, if they can have that vision taken away from BTR, it's going to matter a lot because then they can come in for the surprise ganks.
Yeah, I know that, but I mean, like, most teams, they would definitely tip the scales, especially being this far ahead in terms of resources and team fights, but maybe they'll still reach objective. It resets.
Yeah, resets, and this is a horrible situation here. They will commit the ultimates as well. Kyung9 manages to get the stun in, and the backline, can they get in? Tremor Smash once again. How many can he catch? He's gonna catch no one here. The reset, and BTR gets broken apart here. ZanQ all alone. Zen left alone as well, but Psycho is so low. This mid T1 gonna be taken apart, and this is opening up the jungle. BTR on the back foot.
Yeah, it looks like BTR gets second place prize there, able to get the Shadow Tyrant, but it then means that first place prize at mid T1. Looking at the T2 as well. Nongshim not stopping there. Paying some respect from that game too, that BTR did the same tactic. They just opened that mid lane straight up. But now, Nongshim getting a little bit of their neutral objective goodiness, which is going to be that Shadow Overlord.
Yep, big benefits to the team, and this is a very nice draft coming on from the side of Nongshim, right? So Haku is this unkillable tank, and then you have a monster of damage coming in from both Siri and Illusion, and Faye is just happily providing shields.
Happily providing shields, a lot of sustain as well. I mean, there's a lot going well here for Nongshim in terms of resources, in terms of turrets. They are absolutely owning the Gorge in this one, but we've been at this point before with BTR, and they fought back well. What do you think it takes for them to fight back?
Siri will, if Siri gets taken out, I think that possibly could be the opening, but take a look at the positioning of ZanQ. I think they want to go for the pincer.
Yeah,
they want to go for the pincer, but ZanQ is the one that gets pincered as well. He does have the Blood Rage open, but he is dead. And at this point, Illusion credited with the kill as well. Haku working hard on the backlines. At this point, he's cutting through a very thick piece of bread here. I don't think he's going to be able to do it. So Nongshim, they have the advantage. All 3 lanes pushing in, right? And with that, the Overlord marching down on the top lane as well. Siri working hard. They will get the T3 on the top. The base is exposed. What can he do for Nongshim?
I mean, a very big piece of bread with a blunt knife, and they're not stopping there, it seems. They're looking to try and get this push with the Vanguard, right?
Yep, and it's not going to happen, right? Look at the burst potential coming in from Neil. Even with the couple blades, with being reforged, it's not enough damage. Haku is only down to half his health.
I think BTR was let off lightly there as well. I mean, the fact that they dropped Zane Q, he was into the back line, obviously trying to do a bit of a lane freeze, but the fact that Orgrim was down and they only managed to get one higher ground turret, I feel like it is a little bit of a breeze there for BTR, a little bit of a second win that potentially could push their sails and try and get a bit of victory here. We see the Daybreaker for Zane as well, so Ali is now getting that kind of late game items come through, so the damage, if put onto the right side of Nongshim, could do bits.
Until Siri dies, it is Nongshim all the way, right? So they're going to give it a try. This is a very good defense so far. They managed to clear out the waves as well. But how many waves can you hold? Because Nongshim, they could do this all day. Look at the gold. Siri already at 10,500.
I don't know, how big are BTR's hands? I mean, that's the real question. If they were, how many lanes can they hold, right? Is how big is BTR's hands?
Well, not big enough, because ZanQ, take a look at that. The Scepter of Fate just providing so much value. The amount of shred, compounding damage. How do they deal with this?
I mean, all they can do is try for the best offense is a good defense, right? And it's looking like BTR trying to just keep those minion lanes freezed. We do see some breakthrough to the crystal as well, so... But BTR are definitely doing a great defense, which if they just keep funneling these minions through to the base, do you think that BTR will get enough resources to actually clap back?
BTR's chance only comes with the Tempest Dragon, right? And of course, if they catch out Siri. But here we go, Kyung9 on the back foot, waiting for that opening, looking for it. It is going to be Zan, he gets caught out, and it's going to be a killing spree. Kyung9 starts the fight, and Nongshim will finish it. It is going to be Siri who gets taken down as well, but everyone else, they will make it out safely. ZanQ caught in the middle of two. At this point, Haku is trying to hold attention on the two tankiest members as the rest of Nongshim clean them out. Neo, ZanQ, and Saiku are the only ones left on the side of BTR.
That felt personal. The amount of CC going onto the Ali there was absolutely dire, but it was what Nongshim needed to open up this team fight, right? They're able to get the high ground straight down into the farm lane as well, so it's going to be much, much harder for BTR to try and clap back here. But like you said earlier, it's down to the Tempest. Can they hold off for another 3 minutes and 40 seconds?
I mean, if they can repeat this performance of catching out Siri, maybe yes. Right now, I think still shy of quite a bit of gold, though. I think Neil is suffering quite a bit. 8,000. There is a big discrepancy between the itemization and gold, and you can see it translate onto the Gorge as well. Illusion doing so much better.
Yeah, I mean, we speak about that big discrepancy in mid lane, but I mean, look at it into the farm lane. There's not much difference between these two players, and it's a good display here from Zen.
Yeah, and later on, I think they might be the telltale sign of how the fight will go, right? Any one of these farm laner dies, I think that team is up at risk.
Oh yeah, because I mean, that's a lot of damage gone for both of these teams. I mean, if both the Ali and the Ganonmo fall, that's pretty much night-night for the side of BTR. They only have the defense available, but it looks like Nongshim's going to try and go for the last Shadow Overlord before the Tempest comes through, trying to wrap it up before that Tempest.
Yep, this is the ideal situation for the side of Nongshim, right? So as the Vanguards lay waste to whatever that's left of the base on the side of BTR, they're just looking for that T3 in the mid. If they can break that, the Super Minions will be definitely, I think, too much for BTR to handle.
I mean, Super Minions on all three lanes is definitely not the cylinders that you want to be sort of facing against when you are BTR, but it's what you need on the side of Nongshim to propel you for this Game 3 victory. And we see the Vanguards rocking through. ZanQ just trying to freeze the lane as well as Psycho. It could be the death here of ZanQ.
Oh, ZanQ, yeah, he's falling a bit low. There is too much damage. Haku is chasing in. Will be able to finish the job just yet? Not yet. ZanQ actually makes it out, but the rest of the team does not. Neil falls first as ZanQ being chased down. It is going to be a potential recovery here, but with the Vanguards marching down, Siri, oh no, he gets caught out. And right now, it is surviving. They bought themselves another lifeline. Anyone to save ZanQ? It is going to be the rest on the side. Saiku manages to get that defensive deterrence, and Haku all of a sudden going to be left alone with Faye.
Left alone, I mean, they lost a lot on the side of Nongshim, but they have the room to breathe that part. They have the dividends. They have the difference between them, so they can actually lose a few of those deaths. But onto the side of BTR, they are down the higher ground turrets, but they are holding out for a dream, right?
Yeah, they have to hold out. And here, once again, this is access into the jungle. Crimson Golem going into the hands of ZanQ. Previous game, he took the Azure Golem and made it work. This time, he's going to take the Crimson Golem. Can he make it work again?
We can only hope, right? We can only hope to see if BTR can bring this back, because, I mean, this means that it is definitely down to a stamina issue on the side of Nongshim, because we get so far with Nongshim in all these games, and it's just kind of like the Gen G repeat, getting to that late game, and they just can't finish it off.
Yep, finally they have the firepower to deal with Haku, and now with the Tyrant buff, maybe they will look to try and get BTR into a very dire position. ZanQ gonna use the powerful passing to get out. Unbridled outburst. Everyone focusing onto ZanQ, but ZanQ is surviving. At the same time, the farm laners, Siri, he's looking good. He's dealing a lot of damage. Will be provided a space, and at this point, BTR, they're struggling. Saiku, the main tank, taken down. If ZanQ dies here, it is all over for BTR. Nongshim, they smell blood. They might be a little bit more patient here, because the Tempest Dragon is going to be coming out in 10 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, did they decide to push here and maybe lose a teammate or so, or did they just let the minions rock through, let BTR just claim a little bit more gold here? But it looks like Tufts is just trying to keep a bit of intel on the side of Nongshim, knowing they haven't straight gone for the Tempest means that the side of BTR can now just formulate. It is going to be a 4v5, however, if they decide to take the Tempest fight.
They can't kill Faye just yet, and this is valuable information for the side of Nongshim. So you can see they start running in. Haku, he's looking for an opening. If he gets a Scepter of Fate, it's a horrible situation. Set Sail does not hit its mark. ZanQ will tank for the team, but it's 4 members right in the front. The knockout comes in. Unbridled outburst as well. There's a lot of damage coming in. First life gone for the side of Siri. As he comes back, ZanQ gets rid of Illusion as well. He will not make it. ZanQ, the main tank, going to be taken out. And it looks like Nongshim, this is the best position to be in. But Haku, he gets taken down as well. So now they are playing on even playing field. BTR, they're struggling to keep up, but somehow they are.
They are struggling, but they are definitely giving it a darn good try on the side of BTR. They've able to bring the gold difference to around about 1k gold now. And like you said, they've equalized it to the point where neither of these teams have a jungle. So if they decide to go for the Tempest Dragon, they've got to rely on that last hit, and that's crucial.
Okay, but Faye does have a smite as well.
Oh, yes.
This could be something that is a game changer. Siri gets caught out. They want to dive in. Can they get the lockdown? Yes, they do. It is a brilliant lockup. Destiny activated for Siri, but it's not enough. And this is a horrendous situation for BTR. But they also have to deal with the base. Kyung9 is doing his best to put some attention onto that bot lane as well. ZanQ is here to save the day. And as Haku approaches that Tempest Dragon, can BTR figure a way out? They have been given a window. Can they cross through it?
They've been given a window, but will they get faced straight into a wall? We see that Kyung is away from this Tempest fight, so he's looking to try and get a bit of a macro push into the base, but there's so much going on here. We see the Magma Slam come through there, just trying to stop it, but hey, Path of Passing.
Yep, knock up as well. He catches the backline. Right now, Illusion looking for the steal. Can he manage? He's going to push them away. Who has a smite? Haku takes it away from the side of BTR, and this could be the killing blow as well.
Neo.
But there's a lot of damage coming out from BTR, but the base is suffering. Neo is not healthy as well. He has to defend this all alone as the rest of the members of BTR, Bigetron, they're going to try and rush back. Neo, he needs to hold on. The rest of BTR finally arrive, but Nongshim, they're prepping their comeback.
They are plotting their comeback, and I feel like this is going to be, if they don't close it out now, then it's going to be a struggle for them later on. And BTR have just kind of got all the resources that they need to try and fight this one last defense, but it's not look like it's going to go in their favor with Zen looking pretty low. The set sail.
Oh, the knockup as well. This is beautiful from Illusion. Kyung9 gets rid of Psycho. ZanQ will not be able to survive for long. Gets taken out as well. The light is dimming. It is going to be Nongshim. The crystal is down. And it is Nongshim that take the lead 2-1.
I don't know about those guys on stage, but I feel like I need a nap after that one. That one was so